Hello everyone and welcome back to Story Studios, and I'm going to be telling you all a story in which I'm now legally allowed to say because the lawsuit has officially we've settled essentially. So I can post this now on a social media platform. This event happened back in December 2021, so around a year and a little less than a year and a half ago. This was I mean the thumbnail, this isn't clickbait. Like, this is literally like me telling my near-death experience. First off, let me just, I guess, explain what was happening. So I was driving to my friend Mr. Jinxer's house, which, by the way, quick plug, he's been in a couple videos here on the channel, so you should go check those out. Anyway, great guy. I was driving over to his house, and there's like, I don't know, he lives in like the countryside, and there are like these really long backcountry roads. I'm sure a lot of you know that, like all the backcountry roads are like 55 miles per hour, and they're like super long, and like there are like very few traffic lights. A lot of them have like, intersections, but there's not really like a light. It's more like a yellow blinking light. Like, this way is caution, and then this way is stop. So like, yeah, first I leave the house. And I'm driving. I turn on some music in the car, as most of us, kiddos do. And I start playing music. I start jamming along to it. I don't remember what it was. It probably was, I think it was Tchaikovsky 5, because I was on like a Tchaikovsky 5 high that December anyway. And I was listening to some music, and then I just heard like this voice in my head say, "You need to pray a rosary. You need to turn off the music." I was like, okay, that's interesting. The voice was adamant enough for me to just be like, okay, yeah, I'll listen to that. So I turned off the music. I didn't know why, but I took out my rosary. I started praying it. I'm driving to Mike's house still, en route, and I get to this one turn. And so I'm on this road. I'm supposed to turn onto this road that's 55, and there's like, some hills and stuff, but it's like a pretty long stretch. Like, it's not like hill. Like, there's like a long downhill, then a long uphill. So like a really good distance. And the road to get onto is like here at the bottom of the hills. And so I turn onto it. I look over there, and like past the top of the hill, I see like a dump truck, like a construction dump truck, coming over the hill. And for some reason, I just like heard this voice in my head saying, it said to me, it said, "That truck's not gonna stop." And I was like, okay, that's weird, because I don't know. I've had stuff like that happen to me before. Like, I was once mowing the lawn, and I heard in my head, "You're gonna get stung, like you're gonna get stung by a bunch of ground bees." And I kind of just like, oh, that must be an intrusive thought. And then literally like a minute later, I'm mowing the lawn, like still mowing the lawn. I go around the street, and I get stung by a bunch of like ground hornets. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I turn onto this. So the dump truck is like, I think like this is a shorter hill, and then there's another hill over here. I think it was on the secondary hill. So I like saw it really far from the distance. So I turn on this road, and at the top of this hill, I have to turn left. And there's oncoming traffic. It was a 55-mile-per-hour road, and there's like a blinking light. I think there's a blinking light there, I'm pretty sure. And so I'm like, I drive up the hill, and I'm stopped. I turn on my left blinker. I'm just waiting to turn left because there's all this oncoming traffic, like sort of like 3 o'clock in the day or something around that, like not really rush hour because that doesn't really exist in the country, but like a lot of people like coming this way. So I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like sitting at this intersection waiting to turn left. And I just remember thinking like the truck's not going to stop. So as I'm like checking my mirrors, and I look into my rearview mirror up here, and I see the dump truck. I'm at the top of the hill, and it's at the bottom. It's coming up the hill. And I see it coming up the hill, and it's like not slowing down. Like, it's not slowing down. It's getting like really big in my mirror. When people say like time kind of just stops before something bad's gonna happen? That's literally what happened. I should have like, by the time it registered in my head, it should have impacted. But there was like a solid like, it was weird. There was like a solid 5 seconds. I know like people are like, 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a long time. It's that long. Like, that's 5 seconds. Like, so I'm sitting there. I realize it, and I just hear a voice in my head is like, "You're gonna get hit, but it's gonna be okay." And I was just like, I don't know what was in my body, but I just like, my entire body like relaxed. I just felt tense free, and I just heard, yeah, like once again, just whether it's the Holy Spirit, don't know. But just like, you're gonna get hit, it's gonna be okay. And this dump truck, I don't hear any tire screeches, I don't hear any attempt to brake. It just rear ends me, like full force, going 55, probably 60. I mean, who goes 55 into 55, honestly? I mean, it was probably going 60. So hits me, rear ends me, going 60. My car spins and goes into this cornfield. I mean, it was in December, so there wasn't any corn, but it was like in this field. And my driver's seat breaks. I get flung out of the seatbelt, and I'm like in the air, suspended in my vehicle as my vehicle was getting shot into a field. Like during those moments of me just floating in the air, like it felt like slow motion. I could feel like I wasn't like jostled around, I wasn't hit badly. Like I could feel my guardian angel sort of like grab onto me and sort of like just lift me and set me gently in the back seat. So I slid out of of the driver's seat. I felt my guardian angel just sort of like bring me safely back to the back seat. I felt like pain, like it wasn't excruciating pain, but like I could tell like my back hurt a lot. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know how far my car got hit. I don't know if I'm in the middle of the road on oncoming traffic on a 55-mile-per-hour road. I don't know if I'm in a field. I don't know if I'm on another road because I'm trying to turn onto a different road anyway. So I'm thinking, okay, if I'm in the road, I need to like get out of here. And I don't know what I thought I was gonna do. Like, I don't know, maybe like crawl out of my car. But like I like my instinct, I don't know, my survival instinct was immediately like, okay, I need to like get to the front seat and get out of the car. So I like crawl to the front seat. Like I can tell like everything in my back is hurting. I'm just like trying not to move my legs a lot because I'm like, okay, I could be like these thoughts are going through my head, like I could be paralyzed. Like I don't know how many bones I've broken, what type of pain my brain is like preventing me from feeling right now, but I just got like rear-ended from a dump truck at it going 60 miles per hour, and I was stationary. Like that's a lot of force. I'm just like going through all like these calculations. I'm like, I could be paralyzed, I don't want to move too much, but I need to like get out because I don't want to get hit again. So I'm like trying to crawl out. Luckily, praise be literally to God that there was a person who had 1 star, which is it's like this system that you can put in your car, and if you click a button, like paramedics will be at the scene in less than 2 minutes. Which that was the case. In less than 2 minutes, paramedics were literally on the scene. So thank you, 1 star. This isn't a promotion or an advertisement or whatever, but thank you, 1 star. It worked. Luckily, this woman at the intersection saw the whole thing. She clicked the button, parked her car instantly, ran over to me, and luckily my car was in a field, and she was convinced me to not move. So I'm currently like laying in the passenger seat with the door open. I opened the door, was gonna crawl out, and she was like, no, just stay where you are, like don't move. Eventually, like some cops got there, some paramedics got there with an ambulance. They had to cut my coat, which was my favorite coat, but luckily my mom sews, and she sewed it back up, and it looks seamless, so it's really good. The paramedics get there. They put me on a stretcher. I'm like feeling pain. I'm just like, they put me in the ambulance. They get me hooked up to like some IVs or whatever. And the entire time I'm still praying the Rosary. I'm saying my Hail Marys, and I could feel my Holy Mother's presence just in the ambulance, just comforting me. Mary she was in that ambulance. Long story short, I'm not gonna go through the whole hospital stuff, but I was out of the hospital in 24 hours. I was not paralyzed. I only fractured 2 vertebrae. And yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Like, I should have been paralyzed. My neck should have snapped. I did some research actually after, just because I was curious about like something being stationary, and then getting hit by something going 60 miles per hour at the weight of the dump truck and versus the weight of the car. And I was like cross-referencing this with other crashes that were similar to mine. And all like the outcomes I found were like paralyzed or like more broken bones, like nervous system problems and stuff like that. Broken neck was a really like death, like my neck should have broken. So I'm just looking at all these like similar rear-ended accidents that were awful. And just thinking like, if I didn't hear God before I left the house, say pray a rosary, or like start praying, and like, I don't know, I just felt my guardian angel's protection. I felt Mother Mary. I felt her protection. So the rosary saved my life. Obviously, it was God working through the rosary, but you know what I mean. Like, the rosary is powerful, and the rosary saved my life that day. And there was a lot of, a lot of painful rehab. Like having to wake up a lot. I was on pain meds. God provided financially. I got a new car. Medically, like, once again, didn't need any surgeries. Had a hard time, like walking. Had to wear a back brace for a while. That's my story. And that's really it. But I just wanted to share this mainly because, I don't know. I think everyone on this channel knows I'm Catholic. If you haven't figured that out, and I have an entire playlist dedicated to Catholic videos. But that the rosary is powerful. And that the rosary saved my life, and praying it made a difference. And I know a lot of our generation can sometimes think that, like, what can prayer do? I honestly think prayer is it's one of the most powerful tools that we have as Christians to fight against the devil, to fight for God, for the kingdom, for the church. The rosary has been historically proven to be very effective against demonic possession, against just forces that oppose the church. The rosary's been always effective. So just wanted to share that. I don't really have a message, really, other than, like, pray rosary. And that God's got you. He's watching over you, and he watched over me. And I wouldn't be here for him if it weren't for my Holy Mother, if it weren't for my guardian angel, if it weren't for the rosary. I would most definitely be dead. At least I should be dead. And, reflecting on it now, being a year and a half later, it's weird saying, like, I should be dead right now. And you sort of take another outlook on life. You kind of just know, like, if I should be dead, I need to take this life more seriously. I need to be a little bit more unafraid to speak out for truth and defend people who can't defend themselves, and just make the best of my life. So, yeah, there we go. Yep, different type of video here on Story Studios, but like, comment, subscribe anyway, and let me know if you have any cool stories about near-death experiences. I'd love to hear them in the comments section below or something like that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and this is Story Studios, and God bless. See you in the next video.